started the year on a very high note. You've already set your 2023 goals and you're geared up with the full energy required to achieve your goals and the resolutions you've set for yourself this year. So without further ado, welcome back to this amazing channel. My name is Jinsta Mugure. Kama bado huja subscribe, it's time you supported me. Cause this year I wanna get to 1,000 subscribers. And furthermore, as small changes in this channel, we will be doing 2 videos in a week because we are growing, and if we are growing, it means our audience is also increasing. So I'll be posting a video on Thursday at 1:30 p.m. and another one on Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Thursday videos will all be about career, corporate workplace, how we deal with colleagues, how we deal with our bosses, how we'll evolve in as we look forward to climbing the corporate ladder. Then on Sunday, I'm going to post a video on personal development, self-growth, stories, my personal life. Yeah, so stay tuned. This year we are going big and mighty. Well, sijui niseme so help me God. I hear there is power of the tongue. So we are doing 2 videos every week. I really appreciate your support. Often, when we say we are setting our new year resolutions, it's usually about how we will grow financially, how we will eat well, how our health is going to be, how we are going to create more time with our families. But professionally, we often leave it out to the employer to decide for us. In today's video, I want us to put our focus on how we can grow ourselves and the improvements we are looking up to as a corporate people based on what we performed or achieved last year and what we aspire to achieve this year. Then whatever we are going to discuss the entire time before the party begins is all about our performance. What is our target? Which branches have we closed? Which branches have we opened? What is our profit margin? What is the profit before tax as at 31st December, maybe 2022, compared to profit as at December 31st, 2021. Then the company also has objectives on the employees, what is expected of them. You'll also be told that for you must have achieved a certain threshold for you to be promoted or for your salary to be increased. Then they also award people who've stayed in those companies for maybe 5 years. You get a royalty of a particular amount of money. If you've stayed for 10 years, 15 years, like that, if you've achieved your professional papers or certification, you are also awarded. So they really recognize those people who are developing themselves. But most of the times, we don't develop ourselves as a personal initiative. It's because maybe the employer is paying for you and you want to utilize that opportunity. So in today's video, I want us to challenge ourselves to go before our employer in determining what we want to achieve in our careers this year. Expect someone who works for another person, in other words, an employee, to set is career growth. In this channel, we say you don't stay in one company for so long unless it is your father's company. So you've already closed 2023. It means you are in your second calendar year. And if you joined in 2021, then you are in your second calendar years, and some may be going to third or fourth or fifth calendar years. So you need to measure, since I joined this company, what is my job growth? Have I moved from job grade A to job grade B? With what percentage has my salary increased? Where do I want to be at the end of the year? If you're stagnating, probably you joined at job grade Z and you're still in job grade Z 5 years later. Your salary range was for an entry level in 5 years back. It is still at the same range for an entry level 5 years later. So you need to evaluate. How am I growing myself as a person? How far have I come? How far do I want to go? If I was to look for a job, now that the one I have currently is not satisfying me, which kind of jobs am I looking for? Am I considering career changes? If I'm in job grade A, then definitely do I mind going for a job grade A in a different organization but with a higher pay? Or am I tired of being in job grade A and it is high time I now consider moving to job grade B? If you are an intern, are you looking for a permanent position? If you've been on contract, are you looking for a more stable company that will give you a permanent and pensionable job? At times, we find ourselves so much attached to a company and we forget our own well-being. For example, you might find someone has been on contract for maybe 3 years. Okay? You've not been confirmed. Yet, this company has been hiring people. Your manager just wants to use you badly. And you are so comfortable because when your contract ends, it is renewed. And when new people come, you are most of the times the one who trains them, other people who come on contract basis. Until when will you be a slave? Until when will your contract end? Until when will you become permanent? So at times, it's not up to the employer to say, by the way, I know I have been putting you on contract for so long, it is high time I considered you on permanent basis. It is you to push for it. And if whatever you're looking for is not offered, it's high time you look for another job. But don't get so comfortable being on contract for years. If you're already on permanent basis, then you need to look at what are my chances of moving to the next level. Probably the gap between you and the director is so small and the director has been there for 15 years. So chances are high you will not be promoted to be a director. So you cannot grow beyond the level you are in. In that case, then you look for diversion. Or if it's a small company, then you talk to the director and ask him, can we create a position for people like me, people who have the organizational history, people who have a proper background of the company? Would you consider I retain the same title, but you just give me a smaller increase in salary and a more higher responsibility? The second goal I expect each an employee to set or embrace this year is upgrading your professional skills. Because you bear me witness, the job that is done in these offices, once you do it 1, 2, 3 months, then there is nothing else new to learn because of technology. Most of these things are automated. So the brain input is less required unless you are in an IT organization where you keep developing products. If you are in the operational side, then you need to up your game. We need to know this person is totally different from someone who just graduated. We had so many graduates released last year, November, December. And if we train them, we uptake them as graduate trainees and we give them proper training for 3 months, then they'll be better equipped to handle the job because it is more system-based. So you who have been in that organization for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you need to be so unique. You need to learn something extra over and above what the graduate who is coming freshly in the industry has. And how do you get something unique? Probably you seek for a higher role. You look for ways for an extra activity that you can be adding value to the company. It's high time, if you've not done your professional papers for your particular course, you do them. Whether the employee is paying for them or you're supposed to cash them from your pocket, it is high time you upgraded. It is high time you consider doing a master's degree because you just having a degree won't matter. Someone who graduated 5 years ago and someone who graduated 2 years ago, we may not have a huge difference. And we would rather consider someone who is fresh and recently graduated because we will pay him lesser compared to you who has been in the industry for such a long time, but you are not improving yourself. Another way of equipping yourself is by joining a professional body. You need to be a member of a particular professional organization If you've been in the industry for so long and you've also identified your career path to be in line with whatever you're currently pursuing. If you're still not sure or the job opportunity that you want has not presented itself, then it doesn't make sense to join a professional body just because you have a job at the moment. Number 3 most critical thing to consider this new year is your salary. You need to review how much income you take home at the end of each and every month. Often, the growth of our pockets is at the mercy of our employers and the bosses we have, because there is a margin for entry levels or when you are being onboarded. Then as the year goes, it is increased by a certain percentage, which is determined by your performance. A scale of maybe 1 to 10, where we say people who scored 1 to 3 have nothing to earn. Those people don't even meet expectation. We can't increase anything. They have no value to the organization. Then we have a scale of maybe 3 to 7, where people just meet expectations. They are just average employees. So for those ones, we will just give them maybe a 10% cost of life or inflation adjustment. Then there are those people who exceed expectations. Those people who go over and above what they're supposed to do. And they have been scored 8, 9, or even 10. So these are the people we are going to give a 15% increment on their basic salary. Someone who scored 10 over 10 is someone we are considering for a promotion. And even if we don't give them the title, we are going to match the salary to be like that of a supervisor, because they are doing their job exemplarily well. So now you joined the organization. You are earning 20,000. If you are not so good or your relationship with the boss is a bit strained, you might be categorized at 1 to 3. So it means no increment for you. Someone else who does pretty much the same job you do and is a favorite to the boss gets a 9 out of 10. So what does that mean? They get a 15% increment. In the current economy, you wake up, things have changed. The fuel prices have increased. Recently, the price of tokens have increased. Maybe you joined the organization at a time when your kid was not going to school. You're now paying school fees. At a time when you didn't have a child, now you are buying diapers and your salary is not increasing. So it's either you consider doing your job exemplarily well and cultivating good relationship with your boss, so that at the end of the year, when the salaries are being reviewed, you'll be rated properly. You'll get that increment. You are sure of it. And at times, it's not even about how we are going to be rated on the performance. If the company doesn't make any profit, it means we are either letting some people go home or we retain our normal costs. So where are you? Either you get another job that pays you higher, or you consider you investing the amount you're getting from your employer to generate another income for you. When you have a payslip, you can even easily access loan with your payslip. So you can get a loan with that small salary, then you invest so that you start getting returns. Then your side hustle is going to substitute the salary you're getting. Otherwise, it's a shame to stay in misery 5 years without salary increment, and inflation is rising day in, day out. The economy is just going upwards. The rent is increasing. The cost of transport is increasing. So you cannot afford at any given point to stay comfortable with whatever you are earning. This year, can you set a margin for yourself? Can you consider reviewing your income? Or if the salary doesn't change, can you consider adjusting the expenses? Would you mind downgrading your lifestyle so that you are not even mentally affected because of the low income you're getting in proportionate to the cost of inflation? You can even consider as negotiating for your salary even before the reviews are done at the end of the year. We've seen people resign in companies, then they are going to company B. they are given a salary maybe of 5,000 shillings higher. Then your employer, who was not willing to add your salary, counters the 5,000 increment, and on top of that, adds another 5,000 to ensure you just retain in the company. And you don't give them the problem of having to hire another person. They retain your expertise. So, can you take it upon yourself to negotiate with the employer? Can you see how much are they willing to add for you because you've proved to be a loyal employee? You don't have to wait at times for someone to review your salary. Saa zingine, it's you to jituma, jikaze. Talk to your employer well, because if you leave that job, someone will be given that job, and of course with a higher pay than what you're currently getting. So don't be afraid to ask for a raise. If you feel you deserve it, then go ahead and seek it. In any case, if you don't ask for it, it will remain not given. You'd rather ask for it than you are not given, or you may be given. So it's high time you considered negotiating for your salary this year. The number 4 goal you need to consider this 2023 is work-life balance. Most of the times, we work under pressure, under deadline, under targets. We have numbers to achieve at the end of every month. We have a budget at the end of every quarter. We have our targets at the end of the year. There is where we want to be in the industry. If you're in the banking industry, then there is a rating for the banks. If you're in the insurance industry, then there is a rating. So you need to be scored higher compared to other players in the industry. So we really work under pressure, and to achieve those numbers, it takes a toll on us. So we sometimes tend to focus on our employer's targets and forget our own targets, because nobody is pressurizing us to achieve them. You're supposed to clock in maybe at 7 a.m. and clock out at 4 p.m. So you are so keen on that, you never want to get late. But you don't mind getting home late and spending 30 minutes less with your family or with your children. You don't mind delegating homework to the house help because you're tired in the office. For this year, I would like to challenge each and every one of us to maintain a proper work-life balance. Leave work in the office, achieve your targets, but it is not at the expense of your other personal interest. Develop hobbies outside of work so that you look forward to doing something better. In any case, when you are refreshed outside, you'll be able to perform well at the workplace. So let's not put our 100% energy on achieving our employer's goals and putting zero or even quarter effort in achieving our own personal goals. The way you have quarterly, monthly, daily targets, I would like us to challenge ourselves as employees to have our daily targets at home, at a personal level. What do I want to achieve in the first 3 months? What are the consequences of me not achieving? Can I get someone I'm answerable to? Just like the way I would be answerable to my bosses on why I didn't achieve a particular target. So that way we will be able to perform both at work and both at home. We will prosper. I'm telling you, we are going to prosper. We claim it, by the way. Hey, hallelujah. And Jen became the preacher. Number 5, and my final goal for this year as an employee and a career person is going the extra mile. It is working a little bit harder. You can't afford to be in the comfort zone. What you used to do last year, January, is more or less what you're doing today. So if it was taking you 20 minutes last year, then today, because you've mastered the art, it should take you 15 minutes. So where are you taking the extra 5 minutes? It's time to up yourself. It is time to know what are the leadership skills required, which reports can I run, which activities can I assist my boss with so that he can also feel my presence, or when my boss is away, he knows I can do his job. Should he even resign, I'll be among the first candidates to be recommended for that job, because I don't just sit like an ordinary employee. I'm working towards being a boss. I am a leader. I am doing LinkedIn courses. I'm working on being a strategic person. I'm working on a particular project. Take on some more initiatives. Don't just do what your job descriptions tells you to do. Go over and above. Help those people in the other departments you don't work with, or the ones that maybe you are in operations. What do marketing people do? Can you one of these days go out with them? Can you learn what they do? Can you be so versant with the trends in the industry? What technological input can you bring to the company? What advantage would you have? So we'll come back with a testimony at the end of the year to review whether what I've shared had made sense. And even for me at a personal level, what I've shared is what I want to practice. I don't want to preach wine and drink water. Yeah, so I have been your preacher, Her Excellency, your host, aka Madam Jane Star. Anyway, please subscribe, share, like, comment. Let me know how you aspire your 2023 to be. What are your goals as a career person? And what do you think I can do better as an employee? Yeah, so until next time, it's been amazing to start the year with this new video. So stay tuned for more and better content. Adios.